Sometimes we have to build vehicles in order to do the missions that we are given. However, sometimes we already have those vehicles. So, my mission today is to complete a journey with this, to do something with a ship, and then to maybe get a little bit more fuel, because that is kind of important. So, let's run outside, turn this thing on so we can actually lift it up, get it delivered to literally just over there, and get on with our day. Let's do this. I forgot to actually welcome you guys. Welcome to episode 11 of our hardcore career mode. Let's go. All right, start your engines. Yes, that is what we're going to start off with. Increase this to like 52, 53. We have no fuel. How do we have no fuel? Wait, how is it starting if we've got no fuel? Why have we got no fuel? I got so many questions. Oh, I know why we have no fuel. It's because I took the fuel truck last time to go get fuel up there. Okay, we need to go. Oh, hey, would you look at that? You might be thinking, what are you doing with the small tug tanker thing you built? Well, I have an answer. I'm not going to tell you guys just yet, but I have an answer. So, we turn on the engines, we throttle up, and we shove it in reverse. Hold on, we shove it in reverse. Here we go, reversey, 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 reversey. Yep, there we go. And then we turn off the engines. I don't know why my engines do that. Let's go ahead and just do this. There we go. Right, that'll shut them down. Anyway, what we need to do is attach this guy, Bosch, onto this guy, and then we need to out on this, and then we grab this guy, we jump in the water, we go for a swim, and yeah, we'll be delivering fuel in no time. Wait, that's not exactly true, because the fuel tank on this was already full, so we need to go to here. Oh, it wasn't. It wasn't even full. Alright, I'm gonna lower it to like 5%. That's all we need. Okay, now we do the exact same thing. We then travel with that guy up the top of the hill. Hopefully we make it. There we go. Guys, we're doing it. Don't run away from me. Here we go. Oh my goodness, look at that hose. Alright, bam, pump. So we should be spending money, which we are. It is getting sent through this huge hose that is flying around in the sky, all the way down to our tanker down there. What we can then do is return our tanker back to the shore and, well, you know, make some diesel. Get some diesel? I don't know what I'm saying. Anyway, let's run down here, and what we can do is we can actually then go from the tanker up to here and just put it straight into there. And that would work out fine, I think. Although, to be honest, we don't really need that much more diesel, so however much is in here is probably already enough. 6,000? Maybe it's not enough. Alright, cool. So, what we need to do now is grab this guy, connect it to this guy, press this. That's not gonna work. That is... I mean, it could work, but it's not gonna work, because I can't actually winch out, because that's not a winch. Alright, never mind, just leave it as is. I'm sure it'll be fine. Put that back there. We'll wait until this thing hits like 10,000, and then we'll close it off. And there we go. So we now have, how much diesel? 18,473 litres. Excellent. Okay, it was suggested a few times that we build a hydrofoil of some sort, and if you don't know what a hydrofoil is, essentially, it is a boat that lifts itself out of the water, so the hull isn't getting the drag from the water, it is getting drag from air instead, which is easier to fly through. So it's essentially a flying boat, kind of. Realistically, in this game though, I could just build a plane, but maybe a hydrofoil would be kind of fun. So, let's go ahead and steal a design that I've seen online that actually transports containers across the world. Let's go. Alright, so I need to figure out how big containers are, and I need to build a thing that lets them work. So, we're going to go ahead and have a walkway down the center so that we can actually move around. In fact, actually, maybe a very tiny walkway down the center. Then what we're going to do is get ourselves some connectors. We're going to shove this one on here. We're going to go across by 9. There we go. And we're going to shove another one right there. We're then going to go backwards by 28. There we go. And we're going to shove this guy back here like this. We're going to do the same thing right here. to there, and we're going to shove that guy right there. Meaning that we can actually have containers on that point, this point, and possibly we're going to go with 2 more as well. And there we go. So if we wanted to, we can actually carry 4 containers instead of just 1. It kind of makes sense, I guess. Alright, so the main bit is built on the top, I guess. Let's go in between each of these, and we'll just fill it in with a slightly different color, and that's fine. Because we've got the walkway down the middle, I'm not actually going to have the walkways down the sides. I just don't really feel like it's worth it. So, let's go ahead and build out sideways by 1, at least. We're then going to go ahead and shove this guy onto here like this. There we go. And then we can build around that. I think that'll be fine. I am going to make it so that this does actually provide a little bit of buoyancy, just in case we need it. So we'll shove that guy onto there. We're then going to go ahead and build this guy out sideways, shove one of these guys onto there, and do this all the way forwards. Again, it's a bit weird, but that's also fine. I do need to do this on both sides too, completely forgot about that. And I'm just going to go ahead and copy and paste this over, so that we can continue building. Alright, grab these, copy it, flip it over, send it to the other side, and bam! There we go. Now, one of the issues with this is being able to actually get the containers on the back of this thing. I don't know how I'm going to do it just yet. Alright, well anyway, we're going to go ahead and have a bit of a flat side right here. It's going to go downwards by about 3, and then we can actually start building the boat around the bottom of it. So, shove this guy under here, just like this. There we go. We're then going to shove, I don't know, maybe another one of those on there? I don't know about that one, but maybe. Shove that onto there like so. Excellent. And then we're going to go down from there using these guys. So maybe we'll do like 2 of these, I guess. Or maybe even 3. Maybe 2. Alright, we're going to go with 2. There we go. We're then going to go across by 3. I'm going to shove this guy onto here. And yes, it's going to be a hydrofoil. That's right. That is correctamundo. So shove that onto there like that. We're then going to send this guy from here across, so we have a little bit of extra buoyancy, and that'll be fine. It looks cool. Alright, that doesn't look too bad, I guess. We've gone ahead and obviously built most of the hull here. That's quite nice. What I'm going to do from here is actually paint the bottom of the boat, because I kind of want to, so we're just going to go ahead and do this. There we go, shove that on there and there and there. We might as well do that piece, and that's all good. Alright, nice. So from here, what are we going to do? Well, I guess we need to build the front end. We then need to build the back end. And we need to build a way of this thing actually being a hydrofoil. Yeah. Alright, so at the back, what I'm going to do is actually just grab this color. We're going to go ahead and grab one of these guys. And I'm going to shove it on there kind of like this. There we go. We're then going to do the same thing with this guy. And then everything just needs to attach onto those. And that's it. We will be fine. Alright, so grab this dude. Shove it on there like this. Go ahead and grab this dude. Shove it on there like that. Boom that all the way across. Attach these guys onto here and here. And then we're just going to do this. Alright. Yes. Alright, and then I guess the back end's just going to be relatively flat. So I'm going to just build all of these guys out. Flatten it all off. And that'll be fine. Well, that works. So I've gone ahead and filled in the back end, as you guys can see, and now we just need to build in the front. Don't really know how this is going to go, if I'm completely honest with you guys. What I'm thinking I do is I grab this section right here. There we go. We go to the other side and we grab all of this, and then we copy it, we move it forwards, we shove it right here like this. We delete these guys because we don't really need them, and then we can build the front of the boat onto this guy. Yeah. That makes sense, because then we have a little bit of an area we can actually walk around in. Okay, now we need to build the bridge. Alright, so how are we going to go about doing that? Well, I think we're just going to go ahead and shove... Oh, I don't know. Should I do it in white? Maybe I'll do it in white. So we're going to go ahead and shove this guy under here like this. What we're then going to do is build it upwards with one of these. Which should look actually pretty good. There we go. What we're then going to do is obviously fill in the side pieces. So we'll bring these guys forwards like so. I believe this bit right here is going to stay white. That's okay. And obviously these bits are going to come around too. But we'll leave that for now. Okay. Right. So far, so good. We're then going to get some windows. I'm going to shove the windows onto here. We're going to go with 3x3s. Shove those onto there like that. We'll go with 1, I guess. We're then going to need one of these guys, I guess. I don't know. There we go, on there. And I think that'll be fine. I don't really know. Yeah, we're going to go with it for now. And then I guess if I can get one of these that can come across, that would be awesome. That would actually be really, really cool. Maybe bigger than that. Maybe one of these. Aha! No, bigger than that. This one? That seems crazy. But yeah, I think that is the one we need. Okay, so grab this from the bottom, send it across here like this, grab this guy, turn it around, do this, put it on there like that, delete all of these guys, delete that one, and we're good. Alright, that looks okay. That looks okay. From there, we're going to go ahead and essentially just use these guys across. 1, 2, 3, 4. Ooh, hold on. Hold up a second. Maybe if we do this, and then we use those guys. Where are they? Yeah, I mean, it's not the best thing in the world to do it like this, but it is what it is. Alright, that looks crazy. And then we just build everything else around that. Alright, send these guys up to there. I guess we're just going to go ahead and build it round. Although I don't really know. Is this a bad idea? This could be a bad idea. I'm not sure. Alright, send those around to there. Okay. But then what I'm thinking is, if we use these guys on the bottom piece, it won't look as bad. There we go. Yeah, that works. Alright, shove that guy onto there. Shove these guys onto here, and bosh it across. Still looks pretty ugly, but that's fine. Alright, let's do it. So I'm thinking we go with this guy right here on the front. That then allows us to have these guys marked right here, like that. I'm gonna have to shove that guy into there, that's fine. And then we need to obviously build the rest of them around. I think I'm gonna have these guys point out forwards just a little bit more, and I think that'll look pretty good. I can't make this bit look nice. I don't like the default windows going around here. I think it makes it look way worse than it should. But that's it. Anyway, we're going to go and delete all of these pieces right here. I'm actually going to go and delete all of these pieces as well. And we're going to try and essentially merge the front of the boat with the windows. And hopefully that'll look nice. I don't even know if that looks any better. It still looks pretty weird to me. But anyway, we're going to go ahead and use this as our base for our hydrofoil. So, what we need to do now is, I guess, add some, like, fins down the sides that we can then attach some propellers to and allow the propellers to propel us through the water. I feel like that makes sense. Alright, so I'm thinking we go with one here, and we go with one a little bit further away from the back. So we're going to go with, let's go with 10 for now. Alright, so, how many is this? This is 9, 10. There we go. Okay, so I'm going to shove this guy onto here like this. I'm going to shove this guy onto here like that. We're going to go ahead and send this guy up and over. Like this, and we're just going to go ahead and do that down the sides. Okay, yeah. We're going to do the same thing right here because we can, so that goes there. We're going to go ahead and shove this guy here. What the heck? There we go, shove that guy there. Then these pieces, I guess. Yep, and that's fine. Not gonna lie, I haven't really made very many hydrofoils in my time playing Stormworks, so this is kind of new to me. It's not like super new, but it's very close to new. Okay, so, realistically, I guess I just need something that's pointing straight down from here. So we're going to go backwards by 1. I'm going to zoom it backwards by a whole boatload. There we go. We're going to chuck it from here upwards to there. And we're going to go, I guess, backwards a little chunk like this. What we're then going to do is add rudders onto each of these pieces. And obviously this is going to have to be mounted like this. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Excellent. We're going to go with 1, 2, 3, and 4. And that's fine too. Alright, so far so good. We're then going to go and add some control surfaces to the bottom. And I think I'm just going to go with the large ones, just like this. And I guess we'll see if that works, because I don't know whether it will or whether it won't. I'm actually thinking we do it like this instead. Hold on. Bosh. There we go. Flip it over, turn it around. There we go. That looks pretty good. And then we'll do one here. And we'll obviously do one here. Okay. Why am I not mirroring that? I don't know. Alright, hang on a second. Shove that on there. Shove that on there. Okay, I don't know whether that's going to be enough. I actually really don't know if that's going to be enough. But let's go ahead and spawn it in and see what it does. Okay. It settles a bit weird. Obviously, there's more weight at the front than there is at the back, and that's because of the bridge. But that's alright. Okay. The other plan as well, just to add to this, was that we added a motor on the bottom. I wasn't going to do it with a motor originally. I was actually going to do it with some actual power coming from up here, but this could be fine. We're then going to add... again, this could be weird. There's a lot of bits of this that could be very strange. We're going to add those guys to there. I'm going to add this guy to here. That's all good. We're then going to chuck these guys on, so that there, this here, and I guess these guys across the top. So one there, and one there. We're then going to just do this. 1, 2, 3, actually just 2. Shove that guy onto there. Get ourselves a gearbox, shove that into there, just like that. Bosh. We're going to add some pipes, and then I think we can just go with the propeller, and I think that'll be fine. Alright, here we go. Prop. Prop. Yep. And we're just going to go with a giant prop. Actually, no. A large prop, sorry. There we go. Chuck it on there. That could be fine. Maybe. We're then just going to go ahead and box off the front of this with some 1x2s. And maybe that'll look okay. Who knows? Alright, shove those onto there. Shove that onto there. Onto there. These guys. 1, 2, 3, and 4. And then bosh that in the middle. There we go. Right, so, we've got all of the propellers on the bottom right there, and now we're just gonna go ahead and drive. We don't have a gyro on this thing, and that is kind of dumb, but we're just gonna go ahead and see what happens. Okay, lift us out of the water. Once we're out of the water, we are just flying. Okay. I think with a gyro, we could actually make this work properly? We might be able to make this work properly. Maybe. Okay, a little bit of modification later, and this is what we currently have. It's not extremely stable, and I think if we hit some waves, we'd have some issues. But it is, in fact, working. Yeah, alright, that's pretty cool. All we've got here is a gyro, 4 motors. I don't even think we need 4. We could probably get away with just using 2, but it is fully working. So, let's go ahead and return this back, get a little bit of modification on this to make it look a little bit nicer. And we also need to add in dials and stuff like that so we know how much battery power we've got. And then go from there. This is awesome. Alright, so turn it around. I need to have some sort of control for roll. That would be pretty good. Also, my yaw isn't really working here. I think my battery power is running out, is partly the issue. Anyway, we're going to turn around until we face back towards where we came from. And then we're just going to continue back. Okay, I really don't like this bridge. I think it's ugly as heck, so we're going to delete it. Well, technically, not all of it. So, what we're going to do is grab this guy from here, all the way over to that side. We're going to go to the front as well. We're going to cut it, flip it round, and we're going to put it on like this. Now, you might be saying, well, that's what you always do. And it kind of is, but I do think it looks better. So, let's go ahead and shove that onto there like that. We'll shove this guy onto the back one as well, and then obviously we're going to build onto the top of this a roof. Yeah, we need a roof. Okay, there we go. I went and added some windows around the top bit as well, because I thought that looked nice, and now we're going to go ahead and do this piece. So we're just going to go ahead and send that round there like that. We're going to go ahead and send this round here like this. There we go. And we're going to go ahead and chuck this on there as well. Okay. Now that we've done that, I think it might be kind of interesting, possibly, to try and add these guys, as long as it fits, which it sort of does. Excellent. Alright, get rid of that guy on the inside, and just chuck this from here across the top, chuck it from here across this side, and obviously we're going to fill in the back. Here we go, from there up to here, excellent, and from here across there. Okay, yeah, I feel like that works. Still looks kind of ugly, but we're going to go with it. Okay, the other thing that I'm going to do is actually delete this guy and these guys. I know that seems like it might not be a good idea, but maybe it is. Who knows? Alright, shove those guys onto there. Go ahead and chuck this onto here like this. There we go. Do this one as well, and I guess we're going to do the underside too. Bosh and bosh. Okay. There is more to this, though, that we need to figure out. I'm thinking it might be a good idea to get rid of the motor at the back as well, and just go with diesel engines inside that power the propellers. I don't know. So, what I'm going to do right now is exit out of here, we're going to go to sleep, and we're going to test it in the morning. Okay, generators, no, not generators, gyro is on, and I think we're flying. I think we're in the air. Alright, that was not really what I wanted. But if we set the throttle to like, I don't know, a quarter, is it working? I think it is, but I do think we might be flying. And that's not really what I'm supposed to be doing. Well, kind of, but not really. Alright, well, you might be thinking, well, how are you going to get the containers onto the back of this thing? And I don't really know, because the containers spawn obviously on the land up there. I don't know how I'm supposed to get them down to here without any issues. So, I think I'm going to have some issues with that. So with that being said, I think we might put this project on the back burner for a little bit. Kind of like we did with the tanker. We are going to go back to the tanker, by the way. But yeah, we'll probably put this on the back burner for a little bit, and then maybe come back to it once we have a few ideas. Guys, I may or may not have got a little bit of fuel for our fuel truck, because, well, we need to transport fuel back to the hangar. However, I had to put an electric engine, or a motor, into this thing to allow us to get to here. Unfortunately, I didn't add a battery, and therefore, our battery has pretty much ran out. Fortunately for me, if I limp my truck all the way down this hill, back over to here, we can charge it up and then drive it home. And then I guess we'll have enough diesel to, I don't know, fly a helicopter home? I don't really know. So I think this should work, but what if it doesn't? I don't know. I'm sure it'll be fine. Right, so we connect that onto there, which means that if we look, our battery power comes back. We should be able to actually start the engine now. Possibly. Yep, engine, I think, has been started. And then we can just drive it home? Maybe. Yep, alright, cool. Let's go ahead and disconnect this, put it back, just in case we need it another time. And let's get driving. Please. Let's get driving, please. Oh, we are going to be super fast because we have electric motors and we have our engine running too. Yeah, we're going pretty quick. We're going super quick. Okay, I don't want to explode, so let's go a little bit slower. Okay, so we spawned in the Jayhawk, Blackhawk. It's got lots of different names, depending on which version you are using. Obviously, a Blackhawk is generally black, I think. Anyway, we're going to get inside. We do have a little bit of fuel, 375 liters. We're going to be fine with this. I can't remember the throttle we need to use to actually fly this version. I believe it's like 70, so we're just gonna go with 72. Oh my. Okay, something's gone horribly wrong. Something's gone horribly wrong. Okay, my gearing is wrong on my other version of this, so we're actually currently in the Sky Crane version, which is fine. It obviously works, and it'll be okay. So, we're taking off. We're gonna go ahead and... Wait, actually, can we still deliver this? I guess we could. Let's deliver this to Spycake's terminal, which is just over there. And then we'll pick up a new one while we go home. Okay, well, we're getting it right so far. We are going to have to do a little bit of fixing here, I think. Which could be terrible, but we'll see. So I've pretty much landed. The thing is, that isn't going to work. That is not going to work. So, we need to find the welder, which is just here. Fix this, turn this on. And now we should be good. Alright, let's go ahead and get ourselves back in the air. Okay, go forwards, go forwards, go forwards. Come on. Come on. Come on. Go down. Go forwards. Yeah, there we go. Down, 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 down. Forwards a tiny touch. And we should be good, I think. Oh. Yeah, that should be fine. We should be connected. But it is not connecting. Maybe it's because these are broke? I don't know what's going on. I don't know what's going on. I feel like this should work out fine. Uh-oh. Yeah, I think it might just be broke, guys. I'm gonna leave it. Right, I'm taking out diesel from the storage, we're shoving it in the helicopter, we're then going to fly the helicopter from here, back up to the North Harbor, where we are going to do... I don't know what. I can't remember. We're going to do something there. This will be the container we're taking with us. We'll get 5,000 for it, which honestly isn't amazing, but it will count towards, well, our money. So, let's get back inside this, turn the engines back on, and yeah, I guess we're going to travel back home with a container. If this starts. Please say it starts. Where's our battery? Why don't I have a battery level? I probably should. Okay, so we're in the air. We need to go grab that yellow container. Not this one, not that one. We need to grab that one over there. And then once we've got it, we can fly home. There was a mission that just popped up, and I don't know where it is. Oh, it's all the way down here. We're not going to do that mission. so those guys are going to die. But that's fine, that's fine. We're not in rescue mode right now. We're in deliver container back home mode. Which is a nicer, more relaxing, if I can connect to it, mode. Alright, there we go. We're down. It is on. So we just need to go sideways slightly. There we go. And now we need to fly home. Okay, we're coming in for a, I was going to say a landing. We're actually just dropping off the container. And then we're going to land in the ocean. Which may or may not make sense. Anyway, let's go ahead and just drop this. There we go. Delivery. And then we're going to go land, yeah, directly in the sea. Which, yeah, doesn't really make any sense whatsoever. But in order to return this thing back home, we are going to need to, yeah, just land it right here, I guess. I might even just auto-hover it for a bit, and maybe that'll be fine. Who knows? Let's go ahead and set this to, like, 0.1. In fact, 0. Let's set it to 0 and see what happens. Looks like it will be fine. I'm just going to leave it right here. Okay, if I get out and I can't get back in, and it won't return, this is going to be awful. Alright, well, fortunately it is staying pretty much where I left it, which is good. And then if we press edit vehicle, it is back. So, I actually wanted really badly to take this tanker out for its first proper journey. Unfortunately for us, if I take this thing out, yes, we have the diesel for it, but not very much, to be fair. But no, we don't have enough money to actually purchase more diesel. So we'd end up having some issues anyway, and that's not very good. So I don't really know what to do with this thing. Like, we can't use it yet, and that's really, really annoying, because if we could, that would be good. But we just can't. So, I think what I want to do is build some sort of vehicle that can tow trailers like those ones that aren't over there up into the quarry, which is over there somewhere. I just think it'd be kind of cool to do that. So, let's go ahead and design some sort of tracked truck that will be able to transport trailers from here to the quarry, and from the quarry back to here. Alright, this isn't going to be a normal design of a vehicle. It's going to be a bit weird. A little bit weird. So, let's just go ahead and design something that might be quite nice. Let's put that there. We're going to go down by like 4. 1, 2, 3... Oh, 3, 4. There we go. And that's how high we need that connector to be. So, let's just delete these guys, and that'll be fine. The next thing we need is a little area for some seating. Oh no, for an engine, I guess. And then we need a little area for a seat. So let's just go ahead and do this. Build that forwards, grab ourselves a seat, and just chuck it in there. I guess we could use this. We're not going to though. We're going to go with an actual seat. And we're just going to chuck that right there. Okay, so far so good. Alright, that looks somewhat fine to me. Let's go ahead and build this out on both sides. Just a little bit. There we go. We're then gonna actually shove this down on the floor. And I need to figure out how to add tracks to this. So I kind of want our first track to be on the front. I can't remember how this works. Are they called tank? Yeah? Tank tracks? Yeah, they are. Tank drive wheels. So we're gonna go with... Ooh, I don't know. Do we go with medium ones, small ones? Small and wide? Alright, I've never used these before in my life, but that might be good. So let's go ahead and chuck that onto there like... this? I don't know if the arrow is supposed to point up or down, but we're going to go with that. And then we just need to add more and more and more until it works, I guess. I think, as it turns out, the floor can't actually be here. It needs to be one higher. So, let's go ahead and raise it all up by 1, and then we can start adding the tracks onto the side from there. Okay, so far so good. There's some tracks, and a seat, and a connector. That is technically sort of almost all we need. We are going to have to add an engine into here, which should be fine. And then we can just go for it, I guess. We don't really even need a cab, to be honest, but we probably should have one. Also, helicopter, with no blades. Another thing that I'm going to do to sort of change this up a little bit is to delete this guy. I'm going to shove one there for now, just so that we can grab it again in a second. I'm going to shove this guy onto here like this, and then I guess somewhere along the line, we actually need one somewhat in the sky. Bit of a weird situation, but it's kind of true. So let's just go ahead and try and chuck one of these. Oh, I don't think it's going to work out the way I need it to. No, I don't think it is. Hang on. Type in tank again. I kind of need it to go like here, but I don't think that works out properly because I think this is going to be... they might be in the way of this. So what if I moved it forwards? Ooh, yeah, actually. What if we had it... not there, but like over here instead. So 1, 2, 3. Grab one of these. There we go. Shove it right there like this. That might be fine. Spawn it in. Let's have a little look. Yeah. Kind of weird, but might work. There we go. I've shoved it even further forwards, which makes the back end look a little bit nicer. It's still a very strange situation, but if we go ahead and add an engine into here, this could work very nicely. This is getting weird. I don't know what I'm building. I don't know what I'm building at all. I just thought it might be kind of fun to build a tracked towing vehicle, and it is still sort of grabbing my attention, which is cool. Anyway, it's kind of annoying that I am building this because there is no trailers right now. But yeah, let's continue. We need an engine right here. Alright, so the idea is we don't go for like a crazy engine. I want it to be, in fact, not a crazy engine whatsoever. So I'm going to go ahead and chuck that onto there. I'm going to chuck it onto here. We're going to grab a pipe that is going to attach these guys together. Oh, there's so much going into this. Right, that's going to go there. We then got to bring it back up because that needs to attach onto an actual engine. Okay. So far, so weird. I think the engine should be probably this high. That works, and then if I just add a clutch onto there, that is what we're gonna need. I don't want this to be like huge or anything like that. I just want it to work. So let's go ahead and get ourselves another pipe. We'll attach that to here, 1, 2, and then we need an engine mounted onto there. So let's do that next. Engine. Yes, we're doing the 1-bys, so let's go ahead and get ourselves some cylinders, some crankshaft actually. There we go. So we'll go with 4, which means we're going to have an 8-cylinder engine. I think so. Yeah, we're going to go with an 8-cylinder engine. I'm actually going to add an extra one onto here. We're then going to add this guy onto the end. And let's do 8 cylinders. Okay, this feels really, really weird to me. But 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Actually, no, just 4. There we go. All right, cool. We're going to add an engine temperature sensor on the back. Unnecessary, by the way, but we're going to keep it. And then I guess we're going to have to add everything else onto there. I actually really want to try and keep the top somewhat, like, nice, I guess. So let's go ahead and just chuck these guys onto here like this. We will attach all of them together. Straight pieces. There we go. There's our engine. I do think boxing off this area a little bit would be nice too. So let's do that a little bit too. Let's just whack that onto there. I'm going to go ahead and chuck this guy onto here. 1, 2. And then I'm just going to do this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Might as well do this piece too. And bosh. Okay, so far so good. Alright, what does that actually look like? Weird. It does look weird. We obviously need an exhaust to come off this thing. We need starters putting on this thing. We need fuel, and we need air, and we also need coolant somewhere. Okay, exhaust. First port of call. We're going to chuck that on there like so, and we're just going to add these guys onto the back, and bush. Okay, that works out fine. So exhaust is done. We now need all the other stuff. So if I type in engine again, we're obviously going to need an air supply somewhere. Doesn't really matter where it is, we just need it to be on here. So let's just chuck, I guess, the air supply right here. and that's fine. We then need the fuel supply, which is going to go right here, and then we need the coolant to go somewhere too. Don't really know where the coolant should go. Tell you what, actually, fuel supply is going to go at the back, just like this, and we're going to have a tank of fuel mounted back here. That will work out fine. Okay, let's go ahead and chuck an air ram on here first. That works. And then we need to do the coolant. So, coolant manifold. Let's go ahead and chuck that onto here like this. Actually, let's go across one. We'll chuck it on there like that. We're going to go 1, 2, 3. We're going to get ourselves a pump. And we're just going to chuck it straight in there. Alright, just like this. Alright, so far so weird. Alright, grab one of these guys. Chuck it onto there like that. We're then going to chuck this guy into here like this. I'm going to chuck one of those guys right there as well. And we're going to use normal pipes to connect the rest of it. So let's go ahead and just do this. 1, 2. Go ahead and connect that up to there like this. 1 and 2. And then we just need a radiator on the end. Alright, here we go. 3x3 radiator. Shove it on the side. That works. It would be kind of cool to have 2, but we're just going to go with 1 for now. Although, can I add 2? I don't think I'll be able to do it because of where the gearboxes are, so we'll just leave it with 1. The next thing we need is a battery, and I actually kind of want to put a battery right here. It'd be really nice if I could add it sideways so that we could tell that it's a battery, and that works. Yes. Alright, that does then mean we need an actual air supply, so let's do that again. Engine. There we go. Air supply is just going to go right here, and we're just going to go ahead and do this. Bosh. Okay. Right, it's now time to do the fuel thing. Okay, fluid port has been added. Let's go ahead and just do this. There we go. We'll actually do that, and we'll do this type of dealio as well. However, I kind of want to delete, kind of like this, maybe. One there, and possibly this, just to see what kind of shape that is. Yeah, I think that works. Hopefully I'm building this at the right height. If I'm not, then we might have some issues, but we'll try and figure that out afterwards. Right, shove those guys into there, shove this onto the back. That's fine for now. Very weird situation, but it looks like it might work. So, let's go ahead and add an engine thingamabobby onto this microcontroller. And then I guess we're going to connect all the electricity together, and then I guess we'll see if this works. It does feel like that is at the wrong height because the engine is slightly higher, and that's a problem. that's a really big problem. But I think we might be able to raise this up and still be able to work fine anyway. Maybe. Okay, so in order for the tank track steering to actually work, we need to redirect where the clutch stuff goes. So this is coming out of the engine through the gearboxes and back up. What we need to do is get a clutch before this. However, a clutch is 2 blocks long. So what we need to do is send this down and then sideways and then this way by 3, then up, then through a clutch and then back in. So shove a clutch in there. We need to shove the pipes all the way around the outside and that'll be good. All right, chuck that on there. Chuck that on there. Good, maybe. This here. I need to remember where I'm going with this. We then need to go sideways, I think? I can't remember. Into there. We then need to attach the pipes onto here, which is just going to be one of these. Like that. We then need to attach this guy into there like so. This guy into here like this. And I think that's all good. That is not what I was looking for. Okay, we need a box right now. How to survive a tsunami 101. Are you ready? Build yourself a box. There we go. And there we go. And there we go. And I guess there we go. And then I guess we need a door on this thing. So let's go ahead and get a door. Chuck it on there like that. Kind of want to have a window just to see what's going on outside, so let's just delete these. Add a window into there, just like this, and I'm going to add a seat on the inside, just like that. There we go. Alright, tsunami's incoming. That's fine, because we wait, did I put a window in? I think I did. Yes, I think there is a window in there. And now we just sit inside of our tsunami bunker, which is a box, and then we wait. Yeah, we just wait. Alright, here it is. Tsunami has hit us. We've hit the roof. We didn't really need the seat whatsoever. And then we wait a few seconds. And then in like 3. Hold on. 3, 2, 1. We'll start going straight back down. Maybe I was a bit early on that count. And we survived. Easy. Alright, you know what? I want it to be a little bit stronger, so we're just gonna go ahead and do this. 1, 2, 3, 4. That gives us, what, 12 cylinders altogether? Yeah, I feel like that makes sense. Alright, let's go ahead and start our engine. Here we go. And drive. We're not gonna be very fast, because we are gonna need to change the gear ratios. But it is driving at a speed of 4 meters per second, which is still pretty slow. But it is driving, which is kind of cool. Yeah, I really want to get a trailer out and just see what this thing looks like pulling a trailer. So let's go ahead and go to sleep real quick, and then we'll figure that out in the morning. I think I need a flywheel. So I'm shoving a flywheel in there, which means I've deleted the battery that we had. So I'm going to go ahead and shove a new battery in here, which is going to go on the side, I guess. And in fact, I'm going to have 2. There we go, 2 batteries. I'm just going to go ahead and fill in this little section right here. We obviously need to attach these batteries together and then attach the batteries to everything. Yes, there we go. And all of this as well. There we go. Yep. Bosh, 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 bosh. And then we need to attach the battery, this one, to this so that we can see how much battery power we have. All right, is the flywheel going to help us here? Hopefully. Okay, engine started. Let's go. I said let's go. All right, it's struggling, but it should get up to speed, I guess. The issue is obviously I've gotten rid of a few of our cylinders as well. So this ain't great. Yeah, this ain't the best. Okay, problem! And the problem comes from this. I can't actually connect that pipe up to the radiator anymore because of the way we've done the gearbox. Well, not the gearboxes, but the clutches. Obviously, the clutch goes through here, which means that the pipes go through there, and that doesn't work. So we need to come up with a way of doing this bit again, so that the radiator actually cools it down. We then need to actually speed this thing up because it is still extremely slow. So, don't know how I'm going to do that just yet, but we're getting with it. We're getting on with it. It's working, sort of. Okay, that right there is a preset trailer, so let's go ahead and see. Let's see what happens here. I don't really know what's going to happen, so if I can just reverse backwards, that would be great. Hold on, there we go, we're in reverse. The thing is, I can't turn my head all the way around, which is a little bit frustrating. And the turning circle on this thing is awful. It's abysmal. But we're gonna reverse. And I figured it would connect by now. Where's the connector? The connector's there. Why? Hang on, why is it not connecting? Oh, reverse. Hey, there we go. Alright, now drive forwards. Let's go, go, go! I just want to see what this looks like. Oh, there's another wave coming through. Fortunately, I think we're heavy enough that we will survive this one. I say that, I actually don't know. Also, the thing behind me is literally afloat. Oh, we're fine. We're fine. Okay, we're good. So, the only thing that's really bad here is our speed. Everything else sort of works. That's so bizarre, though. But I kind of like it. I do. Okay, I hate when it gets to this point where I'm just messing around with gearboxes, but that is essentially what we're doing. I want to see if I can go up some steep hills with this thing, and then I want to put a trailer behind us and see how fast we can pull a trailer. So, I'm gonna go get one. Hopefully there is one over here, and then hopefully we can tow it up a cliff. Not that I need to, but because maybe I want to. Our speed right now is like 5 or 6. Currently we're going downhill, so it's not really representative of what it is normally, but it's fine. Let's just drive over there and we'll see what we can do. Oh, whoops daisy, there are no trailers here either. Alright, whatever, let's go ahead and turn around. We'll get the preset trailer, and then we'll try and tow that up a cliff, because, that makes sense. We'll also add a bunch of weight to it as well, so that we can actually test it out properly. Other than that, this thing is not very fuel efficient. Our temperature is rising crazily, and that's not good. So we need to sort out that as well. Alright, so this is the normal thingamabobby. The normal thingamabobby, yep. It currently weighs 3,893, whatever this weight is. It is like 7 o'clock in the morning for me right now, and I haven't slept, so yeah, forgive me. Anyway, we're gonna add some weight until it's just very heavy. So we're just gonna go ahead and do this. How much does it weigh now? 7,900. So let's go ahead and do that again. And now it's up to 12,000. Alright, is that how heavy it normally is? I have no idea. Anyway, let's go ahead and jump in this. Go ahead and start reversing, which is the other way, please. There we go. And let's go ahead and see if we can tow the trailer with that much weight up a hill. That's literally all I want to do. So, reverse into it. Oh. Oh, no, no, no. Oh, no, no, no. I can't get under it. Oh, there we go. There we go, we did it. We did it, we did it. Okay, we're sort of in the wrong orientation, but that's fine. Let's go ahead and turn sideways. Yep, turn sideways a little bit more. Now reverse backwards straight. Here we go, reverse. We're connected. All right, now drive forwards. Can we even do it? Yes. What kind of speeds are we getting? We are slower than we were before, but that's okay. Alright, can we get up a hill towing this very heavy trailer? Probably. The thing is, this is still too slow. Okay, yeah, going uphill really, really sucks. We're going at a speed of 1. That's right, and a speed of 1, I mean, it is still moving. However, not very quickly. Not very quickly whatsoever. Alright, I'm trying to tow it back now because, well, we need to get back, so yeah, that's what we're doing. But the thing is, I don't know how much trailers normally weigh, so I could be trying to tow way too much weight here. 12,000 whatever the weight is. I guess it's kilos? I don't know, I can't remember. Anyway, yeah, so we might be pulling too much weight ourselves anyway, we might not be, I genuinely have no idea. Alright, well, I have no idea what I'm doing then. I've gone ahead and increased the speed a little bit, the RPS a little bit, but it is using a little bit more fuel, which is not great. The design is pretty weird, but I think I actually really like it. It's just, I feel like instead of this engine, I should have gone with a different type of engine. But this is what we've got, so I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do. I think this is also going to be one of those things that we don't actually complete today, because I don't know if I want to. I'm not sure. Obviously, it is harder to run tracks than it is to run wheels, but it shouldn't be too hard, you know? I don't know. I don't know what I'm talking about. Anyway, I think that is actually where I'm gonna leave today's video. I think what I actually need to do is come up with an idea of what I want at the start of the video. Once we've got the idea at the start of the video, we'll move on to doing whatever I want to do in the video. So I think I do actually want to do a little bit of mining eventually. And then I actually do want to build a train as well. The other thing is, this mission out here might actually be quite fun to do as well. And it might be fun to do with the sky crane. I don't know whether it's possible, but it might be kind of fun to attempt. So, in the next video, I think that's the first thing we're going to try and attempt. To try and lift this boat up and take it all the way over to the fishing village. Once we've done that, I think I might build a mining vehicle and deal with that. I do kind of want to finish the vehicles that I started in today's video as well. Obviously we started with a hydrofoil and then we started building this tracked vehicle, which doesn't really work very well. I might change it, we'll see. Anyway, for now, thank you guys very much for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed whatever the heck today's video was. And I guess I'll see you guys in the next one. Goodbye.